Amy with Resident Rockstar. I'm here with Scot Hendrick of Skeletonwitch, and we're outside the marquee talking to them about their set tonight and their plans for the future. So, what's on the bill for tonight?
Well, this is show, I believe, 53 or 54 of the tour.
Yeah.
So we've been on the road for a minute. We're doing the whole thing is like 63 shows in 65 days.
Wow.
So yeah, we
Insane.
decided to go kind of Black Flag style, just play everywhere. You know, so as few nights off as possible, and it's been great. You know, I'm still alive.
Great.
The rest of the guys are too.
Still living?
Yeah, we're still doing okay. So we finally turned the van east. Like we started. You know, we live in Ohio.
Right.
And it's been quite a while. And we're like, it was like a historic moment. The van is turning east, so we're heading back home. But yeah, it's been great though. The tour's been awesome, and it's always so much fun to play here in Denver. And the Marquee is always a great place to play too.
So who's been on this tour with you?
Actually, a local Denver band, Havoc. Havoc has been doing. They did the entire thing. They're doing all 63 shows, and then the opening slot was split in half. The first half was a band called Early Graves from San Francisco.
Yes.
And then the second half, and the band that's here tonight is Mutilation Rights, and they're a black metal band from Brooklyn. So
it's a sick tour, dude.
It's been awesome, and it was funny because people were like, "Why do you have like a split opening slot?" And it was because when we were looking for bands, everybody said this is too long.
Yeah,
we can't do that except Havoc.
Yeah,
they were
Havoc is
like, "We'll fucking do it."
Havoc is hardcore.
Yeah, the other guys are hardcore too, but they're just like, "Dude, we can't do that much." So we decided to split it. We're like, "Okay, let's have two different bands to open it up and make it easier." So.
Well, we train in altitude, so
yeah, you guys are tough
that's
as
why
shit.
they can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
The altitude, but, so what was your set list like for tonight? What are you gonna play for us?
We try to have a good mix. I mean, there's definitely a good amount of stuff from the new record, Forever Abomination, the newest record, I should say. But we always, there's some stuff that we sort of always have to play. We like to play like the title track of Beyond the Permafrost, or like Repulsive Salvation, which we have a video for, and stuff like that. So we try to make it a good mix of new and old. So, and we always try to throw in some stuff we've never played on a tour before, or haven't played in years. So for anybody there's definitely some diehards of the multiple shows. There was a guy in Texas. We played 6 or 7 shows in Texas. He came to every single one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's what I thought. It was awesome.
Hardcore fans are the best, though, right?
Yeah. So we try to mix it up too, and not just have the same thing on every time, and also have a good mix of everything. So
what is your favorite song to play?
Oh wow, that's a tough question. It's a really tough question.
It's my favorite question.
Yeah, it's
my second favorite question.
Yeah, it's sort of, it sort of varies, because sometimes when we add a new song or something we haven't played live yet or whatever, it becomes my favorite because it just seems fresh or new or whatever. But on this tour, my favorite has probably been such a hard question. Maybe Of Ash and Torment, which is on the newest record. Yeah, it's got a pretty epic ending. That's really fun. It's really fun to play live. Yeah.
It's awesome. So here's a good question. What is the strangest thing that has happened to you on this tour?
Ooh, it's been sort of uneventful as far as like
strangeness.
Yeah, it's been we've had a lot of fun and stuff, but I mean there's nothing that really sticks out that's been super bizarre or weird. I don't know.
We lucked out, I think.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah.
Maybe tonight.
It's been very no huge catastrophes.
Maybe tonight we'll have some weirdo on stage or something.
Yeah, we still have a few shows left. We still have 9 more. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, if you do find a weirdo, you let me know. Okay?
Oh God. Oh, we'll find a weirdo for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Well, we talked a little bit about you're playing songs off the 2011 release. So what are your plans after this tour? What are you going to do with that?
After this tour, we'll be quiet for a little while. We're going to go right into writing mode, hardcore, and spend several months working on the next record, and then get right into the studio after that. So that's the no shows until the record is written and recorded. Cool. Unless we get that. It'll never happen. The weird Metallica tour offer. We're like, okay, let's put this on hold.
The big name you have to do.
Yeah,
that's something on your bucket list.
I'm not holding my breath. So the plan's going to be to write and then record, and then so we don't have any shows booked beyond that. So it'll probably be, I would say almost like early spring before we start playing shows again. But we'll have new material on there too.
What is it like for you with the writing process? Is that like you guys hang out together? I mean,
we don't like just kind of show up and just jam like some bands do. And I have to give credit where it's due. Nate, our other guitarist, is the main songwriter. See, the easiest way to say it is sort of like he's the head chef, and I'm the sous chef, and everybody else, you know, is in the kitchen too. Like Nate will start with, like, I basically inundate him with riffs and ideas. He's a really good composer, and I just come up with weird chord changes, melodies, ideas, riffs, things, intros, outros. Just throw him all this stuff. Like, here's a bunch of stuff that might be great to start a song. Here's a section of riffs, and it's 10 seconds, you know, it's 3 minutes. And Nate sort of sifts through that all, has plenty of ideas of his own. He'll come back and usually bounce it off me first and say, like, here, I recorded this with the drum machine and 2 guitar tracks. And I used a couple of ear riffs, and then I wrote this around it. And then we'll sort of go back and forth with that a little bit. Sometimes he'll ask me to like add some things or write a solo for a part, or maybe differentiate where the guitars are doing the same thing and he wants them to not be the same. You know, it feels like it's too boring or something.
A lot of digital passing back and forth.
Yes, and we'll meet up and show each other the parts that we're working on and stuff. And then eventually he'll put together like 2 guitars and a drum machine track that we send to everybody. Then we meet up and everybody, like Evan writes his bass parts to it, you know, put down the bass track. Dustin sort of follows it for drumming, like sort of. You know, he keeps the feel of what's there, but puts his own 2 cents on it. And Chance is great about dynamic ideas like catches or stops or extending parts, or, you know, he always has a lot of good ideas for dynamics and stuff too. And so everyone absolutely gets to, you know, their say and gets to have as much input as they want. Right. But it usually is everyone working off sort of Nate's foundation.
Right. It sounds like you guys all write really well together and work together well.
And it works really well that way. I mean, I think it's. You know, we've been a band for, it'll be 10 years in a few months. It'll be like our 10-year anniversary. Right. So we know now sort of how it works, and it's best to, everyone does get their say, but it's easier when it sort of starts with Nate, with us kind of giving him ideas and throwing things in, and then once the structure is there, then we all sort of, you know, once they put the foundation up, we decorate the house.
Yeah. Cool. So, I mean, you guys have been like pretty much the same lineup your entire time, right? Except for you have a different drummer now?
Well, actually, it's close. Nate and Chance and I have been there from day one. Right. You know, the guitarist, Chance, our singer, and myself. And Evan is our 3rd bass player, and Dustin is our 2nd drummer.
So it's pretty close to the original members. It's pretty tight. Yeah. There's some bands that have a lot of changes out there.
Oh, so. Yeah. This line
that's pretty good.
Been solid. So, yeah, we're not.
Awesome. So what do you have, like, I mean, is it exciting to go back home? Are you excited about Ohio?
It's sort of it. Yeah, I am. I mean, when you're on the road for, you know, this long and stuff, including like practice time before we left and stuff, it'll be, you know, over 70 days that we haven't been at home. So it'll be nice to be home for a minute, but it's hard to switch out of tour mode. If you get home and you feel like you like have to do something.
Yeah.
Like, you're just sitting there and it's quiet and you're home.
Do you have like a homecoming show planned?
Well, we actually started the tour in our hometown, and I now wish we would have booked a show at the end there too, because we've been gone so long we could do it.
Right.
Unfortunately, the last show's going to be in Cleveland, so it's sort of homecoming. It's still in Ohio.
And what's after this show here?
Tomorrow is Lawrence, Kansas.
Nice.
So we have to drive along with it.
Yes, that's a hardcore schedule to keep, dude.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah, but you know, we love doing it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here if we didn't want to be here, for sure.
So, here's my favorite question of all, and it's going to be the last one.
Sure.
What is the best advice you have ever gotten in your music career?
Man, you know what? There's been some good ones. I would say the best that I ever got was when I met Bill Ward from Black Sabbath, and we were on tour with Danzig in Los Angeles, and he was such a nice guy. And he looked over and he said, and he's like, now tell me, mate, which one of these buses is yours? I was like, Danzig's bus, it's usually 4 years. And our van, and I was like, we're the white van over there with the trailer. And he laughed really hard. He was like, look, cherish the moments when you get in the van and just get out and get to do what you love, because, you know, some of my favorite moments with Black Sabbath were when we were just getting started, and I got to drive around in a van with my mates and just play our music and stuff. And now I'm older, my health is failing, I can't really play as much, you know, as I'd like to and stuff. And I miss those moments more than anything. And it's like I have plenty of money, I have all this and that, but I would gladly trade a lot of it to be able to get back in the van and have those moments again with my best friends, playing the music we love. And so that was pretty insane for him to say that. It blew my mind.
That's some good advice. Cherish those moments.
Yep.
Because when you're starting out, it's probably the funnest time in your life.
Yeah, I sort of took it as do it because you enjoy it, because that's the best part. It's not, you know, he had all that money and stuff, and he was like, I really just wish I could play again and be doing that. So it means a lot.
That's good advice.
Yep.
Well, cool. This has been Scott from Skeletonwitch, and this is an interview with ResidentRockstar.com.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.